like waving at you with their little Mickey hands, like, oh hey, you guys ready for your vacation?
Alright guys, welcome back. So yes, it is Disneyland versus Disney World. Vacations. And Kristen, you want to lead us off?
Alright.
Let's do this.
So, Trevor and I just moved from California to Florida. And this was a huge move for us. It's true. It's our roots right there.
Now we gotta get a Florida one.
That's true. So, we are big Disney fans.
Very big.
Like, obsessed.
We're just a little obsessed.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, growing up in California, Disneyland was my home park. And I was an annual pass holder. We lived about 8 hours away where I was from. But I still really loved going. Like, I made it a point to go a couple times a year. Now, living in Florida, we are annual pass holders to Disney World. So today we just kind of wanted to go over some of the differences between like a Disneyland vacation and a Disney World vacation. So last year we had the opportunity to come to Disney World and to be tourists. And so we're going to kind of talk about being a tourist and a vacationer in Disneyland and then also in Disney World. I like to talk with my hands. So first off, I just want to start this video off by saying that we do Disney on the cheap.
Very cheap.
Like, we just went last week and we stayed in a hotel that was like $30 a night. So we go for the parks and keep it cheap.
That's what we like to do.
So our perspective may be different than some of yours because maybe you guys have the money to spend on, the super nice resorts and everything, which is great.
If so,
and you should friend us so we can come hang out with you in those awesome resorts. All right. So anyways, so Disneyland, when you're planning a Disneyland vacation, you have to look at whether you're going to stay on property or off property. Now, on property, there's only 3 Disney hotels.
Count them, 3.
3. It's not very many, but they're all very expensive. Like, they're all going to be at least $300 a night, up into the like $700-800 mark. Like, it's intense.
That's high.
So for me, we've never stayed on Disney property at Disneyland because that's all they have to offer, and while I would love to stay there, I can never just justify that cost. Most people probably aren't going to be staying at a Disney hotel.
Yeah, most people will be staying at the outside the parks.
Yeah.
On the, on that little strip right there where there's a whole bunch of hotels on the outside edge of the parks.
And there is a ton of hotels right near Disneyland.
Oh,
so
a bunch of them.
It's not going to be hard. You can walk from most of them to the parks. Some of them aren't even that much further than the ones that are on Disney property. So when you're staying off property, you're really not staying far away necessarily. And most of the time,
it's walking distance. I mean, you're like right there.
Yeah.
So it's not bad at all.
It's not bad. And, you get it for cheaper, and it's not bad at all. Now, Disney World, you have a lot more opportunity to stay on property.
Yeah, there's a lot more choices there.
So with Disney World, there's 3 tiers of Disney hotels. So you can stay on property and you can stay in a budget, which is like it's a value hotel, and you can stay in those for about $100 to $200 a night. Your moderates you can stay at, which is like the middle, like it's in the middle of the spectrum. You can stay in those for about anywhere between $200 to $300, and then you have your deluxes, which are like the really nice ones. So those are going to be anywhere like $400 and above, up to like the $1,000 mark. Like per night. There are far more perks to staying on site, on property, than there are to staying off property. Staying on property, you get it early admission, you get fast passes earlier, you get all these things that we could talk about in more in depth in another video, but it's really worth it to stay on property.
All right, guys, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the Disneyland and versus Disney World's transportation. So in Disneyland, the park isn't really that far from a lot of hotels. So it is walking distance, which isn't bad. But if you drive there, parking can be about $20 a day. It can be very expensive. Unless you're an annual pass holder, then it's probably free. So good for you. Now Disneyland, they have city buses that drop people off. But you go to Disney World, and Disney World has their own buses. Disney World goes to each hotel, picks them up, and takes them to Disney World. And that's all they do. If they don't go anywhere else, you don't have to make any more stops. You just go from your resort to Disney World, which is actually a blast. I think it's very cool.
It's just smooth transitions. Like if you want to hop from one park to the next, it's so easy to do that. You just go jump in another line that's going to take you, you're used to waiting in line at Disney anyway. And you're used to waiting in general. So you might as well just wait a little bit and then, you hop right over to another resort or another park or
and it's
downtown.
Also, it's free too.
Yeah.
It's free.
Which you can't say about many Disney things.
That's true.
So.
In Disneyland, you're actually paying the bus company for riding their bus.
It's not Disney owned.
Because it's not Disney owned. So you still pay the bus company for riding there.
Yeah.
So that's something different about
it's
it.
like $5 a day.
$5.
All right, so dining, one of my favorite subjects.
Who doesn't love dining?
Seriously. So, dining at Disneyland. Dining at Disneyland. Now, there are a lot of options, and there's some really good restaurants, notably the Blue Bayou with the Monte Cristo. It's like a heart attack in every bite, but it's delicious. Now, there is all of these places that you can go, and you pay as you go, which is normal. It's what you do in everyday life. Now, Disney World is another story. You can pay as you go, but wait.
There's more.
There's more. You can, if you're staying on Disney property, do the Disney dining package. You can prepay for all of those food options. So if you want to get a corn dog in the parks, it's already paid for, so you're not sitting there busting out your wallet and looking at your last $20 bill like,
yeah.
Should I feed Johnny or should I get gas on the way home? Like, it's
both are hard decisions, but you
seriously.
gotta make it.
Yeah.
Adult life.
No, so with a dining plan, you get a certain allotment of food. Now, it depends on the package that you've got. If it's a quick service plan where you're going to have more like fast food options, or if you got like the table service and quick service, so where you can have sit-down restaurants and fast food options. And then you also get snacks included in your package. But the cool thing is you get to see that that receipt that tells you that sticker shock price, and you get to realize that that did not just come out of your bank account. You may have paid for it prior to that, but it hurts a little less when it's something that's already taken care of, not something that you have to worry about how you're going to make it through the rest of the month after a Disney vacation. So dining is huge, when you're looking at planning a vacation, and for me, I love the dining package, dining plan. It's really cool.
All right, guys, so lastly, we're going to talk about the Disney atmosphere. Parentheses, the Disney bubble.
The Disney bubble.
Yeah.
All right, so now if you go to Disneyland, one of the things that I always loved was that they said that if you are inside the park, from any point, you can't see outside the park. Because they wanted to encompass you in this Disney bubble. So within the Disneyland park, it is that. You are immersed in the magic all day long.
The great thing about Disneyland is, you know, you can walk from park to park. Like
They're really close.
It's what, 300 feet away?
Yeah.
It's very close. So you can walk from Disneyland to California Adventures.
And then
or you can
downtown Disney's right in the
Disney.
middle. But if you're staying off property like we were, or, you know, you're just, you go out of the gates and all of a sudden you are introduced back into reality.
Yeah, you see the city.
You
You're just like,
cities everywhere.
I don't think I'm in Disney anymore.
No.
You know.
And it's just not as magical.
Yeah, it does kill the magic a little bit. I mean, you're always looking forward to the next day where you go back to Disneyland, but for that moment, it just kind of wears off.
Yeah.
You know, that high wears off for a moment. But the thing about Disney World,
it's a completely different experience.
completely different. From the moment you give your luggage to the airport, Disney World takes care of it. You don't see it until you get to your room, which is amazing. So what happens is, you know, you get on your plane, you go to Disney World, you know, you go to Orlando, you don't have to worry about your luggage. So instead, you actually follow these signs that say, you know, this way to the Magical Express. And it's actually a bus. As you're going through the airport to the Magical Express, there's cast members waving to you, giving you high fives. And
Dude, Disney's got cast members in the airport.
Disney is taking over.
It's a really cool thing to see. They're like waving at you with their little Mickey hands, like, oh, hey, you guys ready for your vacation? It's fun. You're like, oh my goodness, I've just been on a long flight and I don't like anything right now. I just want to sleep. But then you see those hands and it's like, vacation is
That's
here.
when your vacation really happens. You
At
know,
the airport.
At the airport. So you get on it, you know, you get on the Magical Express, it's a bus. You know, the bus driver's awesome. He's saying, you know, relax, get back, you're on vacation, which is nice to just hear that for
You
some
don't have
reason.
to worry about, like, I'm not driving in traffic. People aren't cutting me off. Like, I don't have to worry about anything. I'm just on this bus, and they're telling me to not worry about a thing and to enjoy all of it. And there's this TV right in front of us.
TV has, you know, Disney. As soon as you arrive to that hotel, it's themed. It's amazing.
They've got all kinds of, like, ginormous props of, like, I mean, they've got, like, Lady and the Tramp, you know, like 3 stories high statues of Lady and the Tramp, you know, or all these different Disney characters at the different Disney resorts, and it's just a really cool thing. Like, you walk on there and it's like you are sucked in to your vacation right away, and you are surrounded by people who are just as ecstatic that they're on vacation too. So then you wake up in the morning and you get to go onto the Disney buses, and they take you to the parks. And you are sucked in to an amazingly magical experience.
You know, the Disney bubble is never popped.
No.
But the bubble doesn't pop unless you pop it.
Yeah.
Or unless
that receipt pops in.
Unless that receipt pops in.
Ooh.
You know. Or
Yeah.
you know, the bubble usually pops once it's your last day and you head back to the airport.
And then what was once the Magical Express that brought you into Disney World becomes the Tragical Express that takes you out.
That's true. The bus even says Tragical Express.
It doesn't.
It doesn't
But it
say
should, because that's how I feel. It's tragic.
And then I gotta clean up the mess.
Oh.
But I'd have to say Disney World's bubble, I feel, is a lot more magical because it doesn't pop until it's the end of your vacation and it's time to pop it.
Pop it.
Pop it. Hello,
Hello,
Puppet.
All right, guys. So we are going to continue doing Disneyland versus Disney World videos in the future. But, you know, because we have both of those perspectives. Like, we've been to both. We've been passionate about both. We love both. But there are some major differences between the two. So we would love to go into a lot of those differences. We'd love to talk to you guys about it. Is there any kind of different things that you guys would like to know? You know, whether it's about a restaurant, whether it's about a certain ride that's different, you know, here versus there. Like, let us know what you would like to see, and we would love to bring out those videos and to do those. So
yeah, guys. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and to subscribe. All right, guys. So we hope that you guys have a magical day, and we'll see you guys later. All right, we'll see you. Bye.